Welcome back, explorers of the extraordinary. Have you ever wondered what history was unfolding on a random day in January? Did you know that January 20th is packed with monumental moments? Some thrilling, some heartwarming, and some that made the world stop in its tracks? Well, grab your coffee, take a seat, and get ready, because today, we're diving deep into the wonders of this date. From the birth of legends to events that shaped nations, we're about to embark on a cosmic journey through time. But first, did you know penguins have their own day? Stick around, we'll be getting into that soon. Today, January 20th, isn't just a regular date on the calendar, it's a celebration of history, discovery, and courage. But first, let's start with something a little more cheesy, literally. That's right, folks, it's National Cheese Lovers Day. Imagine, if you will, the gooey goodness of a perfectly grilled cheese sandwich, or perhaps a platter with the finest cheeses from around the world. From the creamy textures of brie to the sharp bite of cheddar, cheese has been a staple in cultures across the globe for millennia. Think about it, archaeologists have found evidence of cheese-making dating back to 5500 BC. That means humans have been perfecting the art of cheese for almost as long as we've been building civilizations. So go ahead, indulge in your favorite cheesy treat. You deserve it. But don't be fooled. Not all holidays today are about indulgence. Some of them demand our attention and respect. January 20th is also Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's a national day of service in the United States honoring Dr. King's legacy. Imagine marching for civil rights, your voice echoing with others. Dr. King's powerful words and vision of equality resonate today. Think about the courage it took to stand up against injustice. They faced discrimination, yet they persevered. Their actions sparked a movement for a more just society. The fight for equality continues. Each generation passes the torch to the next. We must continue to challenge injustice and fight for equality. Honor Dr. King's legacy by embodying his spirit of service. But let's not forget, January 20th is also the birth anniversary of several legendary individuals who changed the course of history. These weren't astronauts or physicists, but their impact on our culture is no less profound. Take Harold Gray, for example. Born in 1894, Gray wasn't launching rockets or splitting atoms, he was drawing. But not just any drawings, my friends. Gray created Little Orphan Annie, a comic strip that captured the hearts of millions and even inspired a Broadway show. Little Orphan Annie, with her plucky spirit and optimistic outlook, debuted during the Great Depression. Millions of people struggling with poverty and uncertainty found solace and inspiration in Annie's adventures. Harold Gray, through his creation, tapped into the power of storytelling to entertain, inspire, and even challenge the status quo. And then there's Marie-Anne Polze Lavoisier. Born in 1758, she wasn't just the wife of Antoine Lavoisier, she was a scientific force. Marie-Anne refused to be defined by her time. She became an indispensable partner to Antoine, one of the fathers of modern chemistry. Marie-Anne was far more than an assistant. She translated scientific papers and kept Antoine abreast of the latest discoveries. Marie-Anne illustrated Antoine's experiments, bringing their findings to life. She conducted her own experiments and kept meticulous lab notes. Marie-Anne was a true scientific partner, advancing chemistry in her time. And let's not forget Alexandre-Émile Bégayet de Champ-Courtois, born in 1820. Now his name might be a mouthful, but his contribution to science is something we all recognize, the periodic table of elements. Imagine, if you will, the world before the periodic table. Chemists were drowning in a sea of elements, each with its own unique properties, but with no apparent order or organization. It was like trying to navigate the cosmos without a star chart. Champ-Courtois, a geologist by training, had an epiphany. He realized that elements could be arranged by their atomic weight, and in doing so, he unlocked a hidden order within the elements. He created a cylindrical chart, wrapping the elements around it in order of increasing atomic weight, and discovered that elements with similar properties appeared at regular intervals. Now, his initial model wasn't perfect, and it took the work of other brilliant minds like Dmitri Mendeleev to refine the periodic table into the elegant tool we use today. But Champ-Courtois' insight, his ability to see order within apparent chaos, was nothing short of revolutionary. Think about it. The periodic table isn't just a chart, it's a map of the fundamental building blocks of our universe. January 20th isn't just about celebrations, it's a day when history was made, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. On this day in 1969, Richard Nixon took the oath of office, becoming the 37th President of the United States. Imagine the scene, a crisp winter day in Washington, D.C., crowds gathered to witness the peaceful transition of power, a hallmark of American democracy. Nixon, a seasoned politician with a complex legacy, promised a new era of peace and prosperity. He spoke of healing divisions within the country, of restoring law and order, and of achieving an honorable end to the Vietnam War. His words, filled with hope and promise, resonated with a nation weary of conflict and social unrest. But on that same day, thousands of miles away in Bangladesh, then known as East Pakistan, a student activist named Amanullah Asaduzzaman was shot and killed by police during a protest. This tragic event, largely overshadowed by the presidential inauguration in the West, would have far-reaching consequences. Asaduzzaman's death ignited a firestorm of anger and resentment, fueling the flames of Bengali nationalism. The assassination of Amanullah Asaduzzaman, a seemingly isolated incident on a day otherwise marked by political pomp and ceremony, proved to be a turning point in the history of South Asia. January 20th, a date etched in history, marks a day of liberation. On this day in 1981, 52 American hostages were released from Iran. Imagine the collective sigh of relief that swept across the United States. The timing as Ronald Reagan took office added to the drama. Can you imagine the relief, the emotions, the celebration? January 20th stands as a powerful reminder that history is not a linear progression, but rather a complex tapestry woven from threads of triumph and tragedy, of progress and setbacks. It's a day that has witnessed the birth of legends who shaped our world through art, science, and social activism. It's a day that has seen nations grapple with internal divisions, the consequences of political violence, and the delicate dance of international diplomacy. From the cheesy indulgence of National Cheese Lovers' Day to the solemn reflection of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, January 20th, offers a diverse palette of human experience. It reminds us that while we may celebrate moments of joy and achievement, we must also acknowledge the darker chapters of our past, learning from our mistakes and striving to create a more just and equitable future. As we reflect on the events of January 20th throughout history, we are reminded that each day is a gift, an opportunity to make a difference in the world around us. Whether it's through acts of kindness, pursuing our passions, or standing up for what we believe in, we all have the power to shape the course of history, one day at a time. What will you do with your January 20th? But here's where it gets really cool. This date also marks the inauguration of U.S. presidents. The next one will be in 2025, and who knows what history will be written that day. Every 4 years, on January 20th, the world watches as a new American president takes the oath of office, ushering in a new era of leadership and policy. It's a day filled with pomp and circumstance, a symbol of American democracy and the peaceful transition of power. But January 20th is also a day that reminds us of the interconnectedness of our world, how events in one corner of the globe can have ripple effects across continents and throughout history. Take, for example, the events of January 20th, 1841, when the British formally took control of Hong Kong, marking the beginning of British colonial rule in the region. This seemingly distant event would have profound implications for global trade, migration patterns, and the cultural landscape of Hong Kong, shaping its destiny for over a century. From the British Empire's expansion to the rise of the internet, January 20th has witnessed pivotal moments that have shaped our world in profound ways. It's a day that reminds us that history is not confined to textbooks. It's unfolding all around us, every single day. So there you have it, explorers of the extraordinary. January 20th, a date that at first glance might seem ordinary, is anything but. It's a day packed with history, intrigue, and a touch of cosmic coincidence. From the birth of legends to events that shaped nations, January 20th reminds us that the universe is full of surprises, and that every day holds the potential for discovery and wonder. As you go about your day, take a moment to appreciate the intricate tapestry of history that surrounds us. Think about the countless individuals, events, and ideas that have converged to bring us to this very moment. And remember, you too are part of this grand cosmic narrative. As we wrap up today's journey through history, I hope you feel inspired to dive deeper into the stories of these legends, events, and moments in time. January 20th has truly shown us the incredible highs and lows the world has experienced, and it's amazing to think how each of us could make history just by taking action today. If you've learned something new or discovered a new piece of history today, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And hey, if you know any fascinating events or facts about January 20th that we missed, let me know in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going. Before you go, why not check out my video on January 19th? There's even more fascinating history to uncover there. Just click on the screen, and I'll see you in the next one.